Alrighty, so good morning to all of you, the leaders. This is nice when you have the leaders on the call. Today is Wednesday. I'm not the presenter on Wednesday as a matter of fact, but this particular Wednesday and for the next 2-3 Wednesdays, I will be the one running the show. And the reason is because our sister, Madam Anne Vachaita, is actually in Canada with her husband, and so we'll be away for 3 or so weeks. And when you take into account the time difference, this is 7:30, there's a 6 hours difference, if I'm not wrong, or 7 hours difference with Toronto, Canada. So which means 7:30 now should be about midnight, midnight, which is significantly late. So we wouldn't expect Anne to be up hosting a meeting at midnight, ending it at 1:05. I mean, that's ridiculous. So we will be taking over and running it. And so for the next 3 weeks, I will be handling the Wednesday portion. Now, being the fact that Anne likes to do a lot of personal development presentations on this day, so what I'm going to do is I will also kind of maintain the same flow and direction. And so today's presentation will focus on personal development. In short, I will look, of course, leadership is personal development. But what I mean is I'm going to look at something, I'm going to pick a topic which I feel is going to be far more significant when it comes to aligning with what my sister presents, which is stuff relating to the betterment of your company, business, progress, and such things. And so I will be picking a topic that's one of my favorite topics, very profound topic, which is the topic, the 7 capitals needed to start a business without money. Okay, so 7 capitals needed to start a business without money. Very, very interesting topic. And so today, without further ado, let me jump into it. I'm going to cover 2 topics today. Then I'm going to cover, maybe I'll do 3, but time may not permit me. So I might do 2 today, 2 next week, and then the 2 the other week and 1 the other week. I'll see when Anne comes back, I'll just stop them and pick it up later. But let's just begin with these. And I think for me, let me begin by saying something very significant about life and business. A lot of people usually want to do business and so ask the perennial question, what business can I start, or what business can I do? I have this money, or I'm intending to get into business. What do? I only have 1,000 kwacha, I have 10,000 kwacha, I have 100,000 kwacha, I have 1 million kwacha. What business do I do? It's a very common and understandable question. What business do I do? Now, everybody on this call, especially the leaders, this is our space. We deal with this topic very much, but we deal with it from a much more significant aspect. And that aspect is the aspect of purpose. Purpose precedes creation. Purpose precedes establishment. There is nothing that sits on this planet that was created or invented or put together that did not have purpose for its establishment. There is no thing that comes to be without a purpose for which it has been established. This is a truth, and it's a timeless truth. And the irony of this is that even we as humans have a purpose as well. Every single one of us was put on this planet for some purpose. And the reason we're put on this planet and the reason we carry the purpose we carry is because we're here to solve a significant problem that exists in our environment. And that's why God put us here. When people are given the power to govern, when people are given the power to dominate your space, the words of Dr. Nelly, then you realize that this is because there is a purpose for which you are there. So when people ask the question, what business can I do? The clues to your business lie in what's inside of you. So this is the reason why every one of us on this call is big on self-discovery, purpose unlocking, vision establishment, mission, all these things. It's because these are the clues to what you should be doing. And what is actually more exciting about all this is that once you discover purpose, then you will find the passion to operate that in that purpose. Passion is the fuel that brings about the establishment of purpose. What do I mean by that? What I mean is passion is only birthed where there's purpose. In other words, when this purpose is your love life, then you will have the passion to see it through to the end. Passion becomes the fuel that keeps it going. Now, why is passion so important? Because you will be opposed. Life is designed in such a way that in this side of eternity, in order to progress, there must be resistance. Resistance will come because there is something in nature called entropy. Entropy is a law. It is actually under the laws of chaos. Now, entropy, or the law of entropy, states that everything in nature, everything in the universe, everything in creation moves from a state of order to disorder. I'll say that again. Everything in nature moves from a state of order to disorder. So in other words, when there is nothing acting on it from the outside, everything degenerates. Decay is wrapped within the fabric of space-time. So if decay exists, it means any endeavor you choose to do is fraught with the power of decay from within. It is fraught with the power of entropy from within. So to make it be established and run properly, it means you have to overcome entropy. And to overcome entropy, it will require every fiber of your will to keep going, because you will be so buffeted, you will be so blocked, you will be so stopped by this thing. This is how nature is. And if you don't have passion, I assure you, you will quit. So you got to hear that part. If you don't have passion, you will quit. Why? Because you will give up. You say, you know what? I don't need all this stress. So in short, the journey of a man is a journey of endurance. The journey of a woman is a journey of endurance. The people who make it are the ones who run that race and keep going, even when everything in their body is telling them, stop, 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 don't run anymore. And that's why when you're doing business, there is this law I always love to teach, the 1-3-5-7 principle. 1 year to break even, 3 years to actually become sustainable. That means to generate the resources necessary to keep this thing going. 5 years to become profitable, 7 years to become what I'm going to term a world-class establishment. Now, many people can't go that far. Just that 1 year to just break even. Most won't make it. 3 months, 6 months, they'll say, this thing is ridiculous. Why am I even doing this? And they will quit. The reason people quit is because they haven't got the passion. You see, when you are dealing with purpose, you have passion. When you have passion, whatever life will throw at you, even when you say, Nabileka, because of the passion, because of the love, you'll go back and say, you know what? Okay, let me go back. It's the same story as being in love with somebody in a marriage. When you're committed in a marriage, there are going to be days when you ask yourself, why the heck did I get married? I don't think I need this crap. But then when you sit and think of, oh, but I love them. Oh, I love my kids. Oh, I love this whole idea of family. You know, this has always been something I've dreamt about. When you start remembering your love, all of a sudden you go, okay, let's see if I can go and make peace. I think I'm better off making, you know, being aligned to this person and making peace with them and doing us together than going my separate way. Because when I'm away, I feel dead, I feel lonely, I feel, you know, nothing is happening inside of me. This whole thing is what will draw you back. So what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen, those of you listening here as well as on Facebook? I am saying, if you don't have love for what you do, you will not make it. You will not make it. So you need to love what you do. And the only way you can love something you do is because it is part of your purpose. You were born to do that thing. So how do we know purpose? 1, what is it that you find easy to do? 2, what is it that you're very concerned about around you that you'd like to see go in a different direction? 3, what is it that comes to you naturally and you're endowed with gifts and abilities to perform it? And you know, even when we talk about even a significant thing like the calling of God, I always say this: if God has called you genuinely, then something else will also happen. He will empower you. He will give you all these gifts and abilities which will match into your calling so powerfully that you will find it the best, most wonderful thing to do. And here's the part that makes calling, giftings, career, which is your true calling, what makes it so powerful is that when you do it, you are at your best. When you perform that thing, you will be felt. I mean, like right now, I know I'm born to speak. I'm a communicator. That's my DNA. Although the other day somebody actually told me I'm a conceptualizer. I said, well, we argued about it a bit, but it was a very intellectual discussion, so we kind of got lost in the discussion. But essentially, for me, I believe with all my heart that my DNA is communication. So if my DNA is communication, then every time I'm in that, I thrive. You see what I mean? And this is a very significant thing to understand, because if you are in your DNA, if you are operating in your place of calling, you will feel it. Yeah? When you're in it, you'll be in your element. You will feel me. Like right now as we're speaking, you're feeling me. Because why? I am in my element. You know somebody's not in their element because they don't flow. Whatever it is that they'll do, it'll be a struggle. They won't manage. And worst of all, they will actually not even enjoy it. So this is a big clue to all of you out there who are planning to do business. My big question to you is, A, what is it that comes naturally to you? What do you find yourself easily able to do without struggle? All of us have that area of competence where we know to do what it is that we do. We don't struggle, it's easy. 2, what is it that bothers you immensely within your environment that you know what you have can work? And there's a word I learned from one of my mentors, great mentor, Professor Hannington Mubaiwa. He's been taking me through classes week after week. Professor Hannington Mubaiwa uses a word that I love so much. It's the new word. I learned it just a few days ago, weeks ago. It is the word to utilitarize. Utilitarize and monetize are different. To monetize means to take something you do and then make money out of it. So that's monetizing. To utilitarize is to take that which you've monetized and turn it into a monthly, consistent, repeat income. See the difference? So which means for example, consultation is a monetization, but subscription is utilitarization. Anybody get it? Yeah. So when you subscribe people, it means every month or every week or every 6 months or whatever it is, they have to keep paying you. So for example, building a house and selling it is monetization. Building a house and renting it out is utilitarization. Notice the difference? So in every one of us are 2 components to which we can make money. One is the monetizing of what we do, like a brand. People come and say, hey, we want to have you run this for a while. Z, your mic is on. Okay, so I've muted you. So you say, okay, we want to run this for a while and want you to want to use your brand. So how much would you charge us, if you got us to put our ad on your platform? Now that's a monetization. But then when you get people to join a mentoring group like Dr. Nelly has, and then they pay a monthly fee, that's a subscription. That's called utilitarization. When you write a book and it's selling out there and you keep being paid for a book you wrote 10 years ago, that's utilitarization. It's a fancy word for making royalties out of your work. So back to my topic. So what is it that you can do with your talent, your gift, your ability, your purpose, and turn that into a business? That's not easy, but it's doable. And the key lies in looking at the environment. I always believe that God places us in places by design. I'm going to say that again. God places us or puts us in locations by design and by purpose. Everything we need to unlock what we are is there. And if we have to move, God will tell you to move. So Abraham was told, move from where you are and go to a place I'll show you. So God has a way of always showing you where you need to go. Circumstances will push you where you need to go. And you will go. And when you arrive where you go, you come as a solution to a significant problem in that area. Thank God for the internet. It has completely changed the terrain of borders and frontiers. It's completely changed. I mean, right now I'm working very closely with some of the top Malawian people in setting up a digital platform. That's amazing. That's something that Dr. Akani in his program teaches in FlexiLearn about internationalizing your business. We are in an era, ladies and gentlemen, where borders are no longer a barrier. Location is no longer a barrier, provided you have a platform, which is what Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all these social media things are, including the whole internet. That's a platform. So you can take your product and put it there. You can monetize your presence there. And where you're smart, you can utilitarize. And that's what we're all significantly fighting to do every single day. I am always ready. The day my break comes, the big break, which I know is on the way, I will be ready. I was born ready. And so let's look at those 7 capitals very quickly. I'm going to run them through for the sake of giving you an idea what they are, and then we'll sink into each one very briefly for this next 3 or so weeks. So the first talent is called talent capital. Now remember, these are capitals that you need to have outside of money. So the first is talent capital, the second is informational capital, the third is blessing capital, the fourth is vibrational capital, very interesting subject when I get to it, the fifth is relationship capital, the sixth is trust capital, and the seventh is social capital. Very powerful capital, that one. So let's go into the first, which is talent capital. Remember, and I will stress this again, your purpose is the key. 2 very profound statements, one by Mark Twain. The 2 most important days in the day of a human being is A, the day in which they were born, and B, the day they discover why. That's Mark Twain. I'll say it again. The 2 most important days in the life of a man is A, the day they were born, and B, the day they discover or learn why they were born. So you have to understand that you have a why, and it lives inside of you, and you have to unlock it. And thank God the Bible tells me in the book of James that if you lack wisdom or if you lack understanding, go ask God and he will show you. He is not a God of partiality. He's got no favorites. When you ask genuinely, he will show you. And he even says, don't be double-minded when you're asking God. Be very significantly serious about your ask. And by the way, isn't it amazing that ask is the acronym for Matthew 7:7? A, ask. S, seek. K, knock. Ask. So when you ask God, so in other words, he says, ask and you'll be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open to you. So when you ask, God shows. So I find that profound. And because a lot of people, they come and say, oh, I need to know the purpose for why I was born. I don't understand. Yes, that's why God has put guides like myself, Dr. Nelly, Auntie Sylvia, who can show you where to go. But the truth of the matter is, why not consult the person who created you? And God promises that if you seek me, you will find me. If you ask, I will show you. He says, come, let us reason together, Isaiah 1:18. He also says, call unto me, Jeremiah 33:3. Call unto me with all your heart, and I will show you things you did not know. So he promises that he's going to tell you. So if God tells me that he's going to show me, then I will pray and he will show me. And for sure, there is no person who's genuinely prayed to God and asked him, God, show me. And God didn't show. He always does. So remember that he's the author of you. He's the author of me. And so he knows us better than anybody else. And when you ask him genuinely, he'll show you. The problem is that we go and ask with an agenda. And that's why many times these things don't work, because we don't go to God with a genuine open cup and saying, Lord, my cup is empty, fill it, Lord. Show me where you want me to go. I am here, 100% surrendered to you. No, we go with, if you can do this for me and do that for me, then if you can do this for me, do that. The problem is that you already come with this list and you know what you want and you try to force God into what you want. And that, my friend, never works. What you need to do is be open. So even when we're talking about these capitals, my friends, we are talking about the ones that are tied to purpose. So if you are working without purpose, you can't make it. The second statement, where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Miles Monroe. Where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Why? Because you're going to go do the wrong thing because you don't know. So for example, this is a dongle. This thing was created, a dongle, connector, whatever you want to call it, internet, whatever it is. This thing was created to connect on the internet. That's its primary purpose. And when it is used in that way, it's a very useful, very significantly important gadget. But you can misuse this. You see, if you don't know what this thing is for, you could use it as a paperweight. What an underutilization of it. You use it to keep papers down on a desk as a paperweight. That's not what it was designed for. It can be used as a paperweight, but that's not what it was designed for. So a lot of people operate like that. They should be operating as this, but they become paperweights. And here's the saddest part. I'm going to show you now. A lot of people in life are like these two items I'm holding. There are people who are cups and there are people who are plates. Now, I'm really oversimplifying, so there's a lot more things people are, but let's just stick to the illustration. It works perfect. This is a plate, this is a cup. The last thing you want in life is a cup trying to be a plate. The cup is not designed to be a plate. And so if this cup keeps trying to be a plate, it is going to be underutilized and, most importantly, abused, because it will never perform well. This cup was not designed to operate like a plate. Funny enough, there are also plates trying to be cups. Same story. The plate was not designed to accomplish the purpose of a cup. And so if it tries, it will inevitably be abused and it will never be effective. So cups trying to be plates will never be effective, and plates trying to be cups will never be effective. The saddest part about life is we have a lot of cups trying to be plates, and we have a lot of plates trying to be cups. And even when they go to pray to God, they pray asking to be a plate or asking to be a cup. You miss the whole point. Purpose works beyond that. This cup is good as a cup, and it can serve perfectly as a cup. And that's why we must focus on being a cup. Now, if you do not know why you are a cup, go ask the people that invented the cup, the one who made this cup, and they will tell you what the cup is for. And then when you begin to utilize and operate as a cup, my friend, you will see prosperity in everything you do. Why? Because now you're operating in your sphere. But if you try to be a plate, you will be underutilized. You will be significantly out of purpose, and you will never see prosperity. So today, I think I'll only have time for talent. Let's run very quickly into the first capital, which is talent capital. So what is talent capital? Very simply put, it's the giftings you carry. I've told you already. When something is created as a cup, it's very design, it's very layout, its very style of being fashioned is to accomplish its purpose. So everything about you, you are designed to accomplish the purpose for which you are where you are right now. I don't even know where you are. I don't know what it is you do, but you carry within you everything to make it happen. And that's why, you see, the first powerful thing about talent capital is that you cannot keep on trying to be a plate when you're not a plate. So look within yourself. Do you have the design and makeup for being a plate? And the answer for most people is no, you don't. So why are you trying to be a plate? And this is a serious statement. I want to just pause here and really allow you to think this through, because I know you watch this on different platforms. Why are you trying to be a plate? So you need to understand that you are not a plate. You were never designed to be a plate. In fact, there is nothing platish about you. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, there's nothing platish about you. So why keep trying to be a plate? Be a cup, because that's what you were designed to be. Don't think you found yourself. Did you choose to be where you were born? Did you choose your name? Did you choose your race? Did you choose your locality? Did you choose the giftings inside yourself and abilities? No, you just found them. They were inherent in you. That's right, because the one that created you knew why he created you. He put those things in there so that they are able to help you accomplish the purpose for which you were put on the planet. So talent is your first capital. Oh, by the way, talent isn't enough, right? Yeah, I agree. So that's why to talent you add skill. In fact, let's put it this way. To talent you add something else, which makes our second capital. So thank God I managed to reach the second capital, which is information capital. Now, information is just data. It's ones and zeros. And information in of itself means absolutely jack. So information must be organized into disciplines. This organization of disciplined knowledge, information, is what we can call knowledge. Okay, so knowledge is information organized in a disciplined way that allows for it to be applied in a given discipline or in a given sector. Okay, so information that is organized becomes knowledge. Now, knowledge that is then comprehended. To comprehend means understand. It means you know the insides and outs of that particular discipline. The knowledge necessary has been grasped by your medulla oblongata, as we say in our circles. Your brain has grasped this concept properly. That is called understanding. That's what understanding is. Because once you understand a subject, you are able to then apply it to a given scenario in your locality. This is what I term innovation. So what is to innovate? To innovate means to take what you know, that which you've understood and comprehended fully, and then use it profitably in your locality to the benefit of those around you. That, my friends, is what gives birth to value. All right, so there you go. So value is a function of, that's it. So value is a function of applied innovative knowledge. So knowledge in and of itself is still useless until it's understood. That's why comprehension is critical. Once you comprehend this thing, then you take what you have and then you now push it into innovating, bring about solutions to given problems in your locality, hence value. Okay, so that's very important. I like what Auntie Sylvia is saying. It's information given which gets misunderstood and given a meaning which does not help individuals get value. Correct. So it's very important that this aspect of innovation is understood. It is when you take this understanding and apply it innovatively to a given problem, bringing a solution. And remember, once information is applied in that way, it becomes valuable. And here's the most important part. Value is perceived. I'll say that again. Value is perceived. So it is never, value is never, ever objective. Value is subjective. I'll say that again. Value has everything to do with the people looking at it, nothing to do with the object itself. I'll give you a very good example. You've heard the saying, you know, love is in the eyes of the beholder. We always joke with my wife, love is in the eyes of the beer holder. But the point is, the people looking are the ones who determine the value. That's why gold can be very valuable to some people and completely useless to someone else. Brilliant example. If somebody's dying of thirst in the desert, you can give them all the gold in the world. It means nothing. What they need is water. Water is far more valuable than the gold. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say value is relative. Value is subjective, not objective. The value of gold is only appreciated by those who understand its application, who understand what they can do with it. But see, for that value to work, there must be an environment that can convert that value and bring benefit. That's why the internet is great, but if you don't know what to do with it, it's useless. Get it? These calls we do in the morning, they can be great, but if you don't understand what they are, it's useless. That's why Jesus used the term, and I quote, casting pearls to swine. Very interesting statement. Do not cast pearls to swine. Pearls are very valuable to me and you as humans, but they are completely useless to pigs. Pigs don't eat pearls. There you get it. That's why a lot of us, when it comes to purpose, performance, in terms of talent and information, we have to realize that the locality to which we belong or where we can find ourselves is going to be the difference between going on to make tons of money or not. So for example, a lot of people say, oh, Rev, you drop very, very deep content. Why don't you see how you can monetize this more powerfully? The key that I'm doing right now is finding my way into the circles that value what I carry. You see, if you continue to cast what you have to people who have no value for it, it'll never monetize. And sometimes you can get very frustrated, and that's understandable, but that's because you are preaching to the wrong audience. That's it. So you got to find a way to get yourself to the right audience, get yourself to the right market. My wife bakes, she does some really great cakes. But one of our biggest jobs right now in our business is finding a way to get her into the circle that would appreciate the value of the kind of cakes she sells. We are already getting there, but we will push even more because we know that the same cakes she does, other people in our industry are charging 3 times what she charges, and the people pay. Okay, so she's charging what, 850, 1,000 kwacha for a cake. There are people charging 3,000 kwacha for the same cake. And when I look at what my wife makes and what some people are making, taste-wise, look-wise, identical. But those are being paid 3 times what she's being paid. Why? Because they are in the right place, right audience, right people. And I really hope I'm speaking to someone, because I'm done now with my presentation today. We looked at 2 capitals, talent and information. But you will see that these 2 capitals are critical to be understood in the light of purpose. And the closing sucker punch, I've said already, is value is perceived. And the moment you understand that, you will stop being frustrated. You see, if you take pearls and give them to swine, you will get so tired because you think everybody's a swine. And that just sounds wrong, but that's my point. You will feel so frustrated. You say, what's wrong with these people? You know, look at what I'm giving. I think I might as well just be like that one. Look at, they're giving rubbish and people are paying. I think maybe I should go that direction. No, change your audience. That's what I'm saying, my friends. Change your audience. Find a way to get to the people that value. There's a reason Louis Vuitton exists. Louis Vuitton handbags cost $10,000, $5,000. You got Rolex watches worth $20,000. You think Rolex will come and set up a shop in Zambia? No disrespect to the Zambians, but the market just can't take that kind of retail. We can't have a Rolex outlet in one of these malls because we just don't have the audience. We don't have those kind of rich people. But you go to Beverly Hills, my friend, Rolex has an outlet in Beverly Hills. In Beverly Hills. You go to Kensington High Street, you go to the most expensive street in the UK, Mayfair. You will find Rolex have an outlet. Swatch. Well, Swatch is too cheap. Sorry, I even brought that up. Let's stick with Rolex. So Rolex will have an outlet on Mayfair. Why? Or Hyde Park. Why? Because the kind of people that go to Hyde Park can pay $20,000 with their eyes closed. They don't even think about it. It's pocket change. So you need to get yourself in the right audience. And I'm not in any way belittling our people in Zambia. Whatever it is you produce suits wherever it is you go. And God will place you where whatever you give will be of value. The marketeer in the market at Chilenge is just as valuable as the marketeer in Northmead. The Northmead marketeer will have a higher price tag because of the environment they are in compared to the Chilenge, or even better, Bauleni marketeer. So Chilenge market, Mtendere market, Bauleni market, different audiences, different prices, same product. I think you're getting me now. Same product, is the same tomato. And if you go into Pick and Pay and ShopRite, that tomato will have another price because of the audience. So the tomato is exactly the same. I really hope I've belabored and you've gotten me. So some of you here are very gifted, but you wonder why you feel like you're wasting your energy. People are not appreciating. No. You are selling to the wrong people. All righty. So on that note, join us tomorrow as Dr. Nelly comes through to take us on that subject. She runs brilliantly. That's prosperity for your soul. Have a great day.